Hello and welcome back to Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. Yes, I've managed to finally say it. This is the second part of the first impressions video, and in this part I'm going to start answering some of the questions that I've seen that were commented upon or left in the comments box of the first video. So thank you everybody who's watched it. At the time of recording, I think I've got 6,500 or 7,000 people have seen this. So thank you very much for watching that first episode or that first video, and thank you to the people who have hit that like button. Again, please do the same on this video, and also for those people who have been commenting with their questions, their suggestions, their thoughts upon this game. So I'm going to try and clarify a little bit about it, as I have replied to some of those comments saying that I will try and clarify a few things. So for today's video, we're not going to spend any time actually in one of these routes. What we're going to do is we're going to look at Content Samples 1. Content Samples 1, as you can see. So last time out we were where? Kickstarter County number 2. So we're going to Content Samples 1, and I might switch over to something else soon, but this is an example of the new routes, or the new tracks, the new environment, things like that, the new trains and new locomotives that are available in Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. So here we go. Let's just go into the sessions and get going in there. There we go. Let that load. In the meantime, it is available on the... Oh, well, it's loaded already. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? It is available, and I'm going to get rid of that, on the Trainz store for $69.99 US. That's $70 US. This is available. Now, some people, they've been... Oh, I'm probably going to move out a little bit because of that noise. There have been some suggestions as to, or some concerns, should I say, about the whole subscription model and how it works. So let me go through everything that Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 actually updates and then has. So obviously we'll have a look at this in a little bit more depth, but we've got more realism. So I'm going to read this off their website, and then this should answer all the questions that everybody's having. So the upgrade has more realism. What is that noise? I have no idea. It's one of these trains. It is one of these trains. Anyway, more realism. A massive engine upgrade delivers more realistic graphics. So we've got PBR, which is physically based rendering, and you can see, if we look at this Rocky Mountaineer right here, you can see clearly that is quite realistic. That is PBR right there. We do need dirt textures and things like that, but in general that is pretty realistic right there. You can even see on this CSX train, for example, and on that Canada National. Is it Canada National or Canadian National? Something like that. There's another Canadian National. I didn't know they were in green. Fancy. Okay, anyway. So physically based rendering allows accurately simulated lighting for photorealistic graphics in all in real time. So that's great. Parallax Mapping is another one. So Parallax Mapping is extreme detail made possible by textured height maps. Detail maps enhance the visuals with macro and micro surface details. So for example, having a look at this, look at the detailing on the rails, or the sleepers, not the rail itself, but the sleepers, even the rails actually, but the sleepers and the gravel bed underneath it. You can just see that detailing there. Now I'm assuming this is using both detail mapping, normal mapping, and some form of displacement mapping for them to be able to get this sort of texture, and it looks great. It's definitely a big improvement from Trainz A New Era, and I certainly like the rails themselves. Environmental lighting gives greater control for direct, indirect, and high dynamic range lighting. So we should see better lighting during the day and at night. And of course, in the first video, we did see that lighting during the day had been changed massively. Now, we'll go to one of the biggest changes, I think, in terms of what you're going to see, and that is the Nvidia turf effect. So if we just run away from these trains right now and see if we can find some of these turf effects. Any of this? Nope, none of this. We'll find some. Here we go. This looks like turf effects right here. There you go. Nvidia turf effects. We had a look at this in the last video too. But I mean, if you're having a look at that like so, that looks fairly realistic. And that's one of the biggest changes I think that's going to make the routes look more alive, apart from the noises that you can hear. But this is going to make the routes look more alive. So it's no longer just a flat texture. Even these aren't flat textures anymore either. You can see that, but it's no longer just a texture where it's just some grass. Let's say similar to, well, actually I'm trying to find some, but I can't actually find any because clearly they've put it everywhere. Okay, well, let's say more similar to this. This is a bit more similar. So just a standard flat, this isn't even flat grass, but let's say you were looking at it like that. You can see the tiles there, which is something I still think they need to improve, but you can see the tiling right there. But when you're down like this, you can't see the tiling because it's got grass everywhere, and this grass is wavy and realistic, and it moves, and that is really, really cool. And that's one of the biggest changes that I've found visually in Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. We've got lay down animated ground cover that waves in the wind, as you can see. Customizable ground clutter fills your route with micro detailed objects. Now I'm assuming that this is what they're referring to by customizable ground clutter. So little bushes there, some tree trunk there, some bushes like that, little bits of grass, things like that. I think that's what they're referring to. Not the dog. Hello, woof. Yep, okay. But look, these flowers, I'm not going to start naming what flowers these are because I clearly can't tell. Well, actually, I can tell. I think those look like magnolias. But anyway, these little bits of ground cover, I think, just make it look very different as well. I love the noise. I love the noises that are going on around. And then we've got the enhanced bulk replace tool to quickly upgrade or update your existing routes to new standards. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment too, because that was part of a question that was posed to me. So moving from there on to driving controls. Now, we've already had a bit of a discussion in the first impressions, or the first part of the first impressions, about the driving controls as we stand near these massive railway locomotives. So easier access and better visualization while you're driving. You've got the track navigation profile, which I guess I can pull it up here, can't I? There you go. So you've got this track navigation profile, which obviously on this is flat because it just ends right there. You've got train control mode, which I don't think I showed you in the last one, but this is actually quite nifty. You can switch between the different control modes, so either AI, sim single, or complex, DCC, or full controls, which I think is really, really neat. You've got the driver control center to control and manage dozens of AI drivers, and then you've got command properties editable in real time to update your driver AI commands on the fly, which is pretty neat, I think. So anyway, that's that. We're not going to be talking about that because I covered a lot of that in the first one. What I am going to say is, and this is where a lot of your questions were, about compatibility with existing routes, compatibility with existing trains. I want to see inside this train, by the way. I'm just going to get inside this train just to have a look. Welcome to another train. But anyway, so we've got more content to be viewed, or view more content, it says. So your My Collection, which I showed you in the last episode very quickly as well, allows you to view all your installed locomotives and rolling stock. You can search for routes, you can filter, you can tag favorites, and you can download from the Trainz download station. Now this is really important. The reason being is because you can download things right the way from Trainz 1. Older Trainz content from Trainz 1 to Trainz 12, most of those routes are from earlier versions and are now able to be downloaded on the download station. Plus, you should be able to download most, if not all, of your favorite locomotives from the old one. Obviously, it's not going to be updated to the latest standards, but hopefully the content developers do go ahead and update them to the latest standard. This actually looks quite nice inside. I'm actually quite happy with this. What does the horn sound like? Can I not press it? That's quite a nice horn too. Okay, so Trainz A New Era. If you log in with, if you've got Trainz A New Era, you can log in on your Trainz username, and all your Trainz New Era routes, so all of those routes, locomotives, sessions, everything will be downloadable in the new train. So this Trainz version right here will be able to run all of the old content and all existing DLC as well. So you can purchase DLC that is currently available, and this was one of the questions that was asked, is whether is this DLC, is this content, is this route going to be available. All that old DLC, you can still purchase it and it will be available for you in Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. So the question is, what's new in this? So we've talked about the content, we've talked about you know, the improved driving controls, we've talked about the world building, we've talked about the graphics. What else is new in this? Well, one thing that might be interesting for those people that really enjoy train simulation is the rail driver consumer unit. That is now supported both in, well, Trainz A New Era, but also Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. There's also seasonal support for procedural tracks. So, for example, if you were to do this in winter, the procedural track, this one here, would end up having winter textures on it, which is really neat. And also, I think it's going to be much easier for people to be able to bring content and assets into Trainz because they use FBX mesh support now, so that should be pretty handy. Going on from that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's available in Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 as standard. So let's say you don't have any add-on content, you've never played Trainz A New Era, you've never played Trainz 12. What are you going to get? Look at this. That looks really nice. That texture could do with upgrading. Again, early access, so there are a few things here and there that don't look brilliant. That's a bit sharp as well. Could do with a bit of a normal mapping, maybe to ease off the edges of these rocks. That would be, yeah, if they could put some normal mapping just on the edge of these rocks, just to round off the edges ever so slightly, that would look awesome. That really would look awesome. If possible. But anyway, okay, so what is included if you are not, if you've never played this title before, if this is brand new? You just have a look at this too. They do look good. They really do look quite good. So, we've got Kickstarter County 2, which I showed you in the last video. In the last video, we started taking out a train on Kickstarter County 2, so that's been completely overhauled and updated to Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 standards. So that is brand new. It's all been rebuilt. So we've got the old Kickstarter County 2. This is Kickstarter County, and then we've got Kickstarter County 2 with 4 brand new interactive sessions, new industries, and an expanded world. So that's what we've got. Now, that's all that's currently available due to it being day 1. So as it's day 1 content right now, that's all we have got. However, what's coming into this are the following 5 additional routes. So I'm going to mention this. I'm going to talk about them just as it says it on the website. So we've got the Canadian Rockies in British Columbia. So the majestic prototypical Rocky Mountains route by Roy's Trains. This enormous 2,000 square kilometer prototypical Rocky Mountains route has been extensively reworked to take full advantage of the new TRS 19 features. It's going to have 4 brand new interactive sessions plus stunning new high resolution trains and passenger cars, and that is including, come on, this one right here. As you can see, Rocky Mountaineer, this is one of those, and you can see that that is pretty high resolution there. And it's definitely making full use of the PBR materials. So that's one of them right there. We're going to have Sabino Lake in Italy, which is a brand new layout from Django. This stunning creation is a must-see for every Trainz fan. With an incredible eye for detail and the majestic Italian scenery as a backdrop, this prototypical rural Italian route is a true masterpiece. That's going to have 6 brand new interactive sessions and the stunning new Orient Express train. So you're going to get a train with that. We're also going to have the Niddelbahn, which is the German route, completely been overhauled. So in fact that's available to me right now, but I've got the old version, completely overhauled and updated to TRS 19 standards. An idyllic single track branch line, where is this, in Wetterau and Main Kinzig-Kreis, I think is how you pronounce that, in the western German state of Hesse. So you're going to have a new track and new scenery, so they're going to revamp all of that with new rolling stock as well and 4 new sessions, so they're going to upgrade that track as well. You've got the Cornish Main Line and branches, which is a British route. So that's part of the Great Western Railway down right at the bottom. So we've got completely overhauled and upgraded again to TRS 19 standards. This impressive route runs between Truro and Penzance in Cornwall. It includes the branch lines to Falmouth, where's the other place? Helston, Hale Wharfs and St Ives. So you're going to have new track, ground textures, assets, and 8 brand new sessions on that. And then we've got the Edinburgh Dundee. I'm really looking forward to the Edinburgh Dundee one. So that's been completely overhauled and updated again. That's in Britain or in Scotland. And that is going to be set in 1976. That's part of the East Coast Main Line, further north than what we currently have. That route includes the Forth and Tay Rail bridges, of course, the Royce Navy Dock, and stunning scenery along the Firth of Forth, which I will tell you is a stunning place to take a train. I've been there in real life. Amazing scenery right there. So keep an eye out for some good gradients and also some severe speed restrictions while learning the road. So there we go. So those are the ones that are going to be available to you if you're purchasing it brand new. Plus you're going to have a whole bunch of new locomotives, rolling stock and scenery with over 15,000 items in total. And there's going to be a whole new range of high quality DLC content that is being developed for Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. But as I said, currently with day one, we've got the Trainz early access has only got Kickstarter County route and the sessions, and this content samples route which I'm on right now, which just gives you an idea as to what some of the features on, what some of the rolling stock that has been upgraded looks like. So for example, we can have a look at that, and you can see that that's pretty high quality, I would say. So they're really starting to take shape. So we're looking forward to, or I am looking forward to, seeing a lot more of this. More of the rolling stock, more of the engines. I love these. This one looks a lot better with the dirt textures, I think. But obviously I'm looking to see more shine on this. I'm looking to see this upgraded. I'm looking to see all of this looking far more realistic. Any other information I'm just trying to think about? So I've told you that you can take all your existing DLC, told you what's included if you're brand new to this. Yes, of course, talking about the pricing and how it works. So some people were concerned about this whole subscription-based setup and how that's actually going to work. So here we go. Let me show you, or let me pull up some information about that subscription. So we've got the Content Vault, which is one part of this subscription service, which gives you 15 items. I'm not going to mention all 15 items, but there's a bunch of them, you know, including the Cecil Carlisle route and the original Kickstarter County, the Coronation Scott, so on and so forth. So you get that, plus you can add 5 additional items to your Content Vault each month, and that's there. You will have those DLC items whilst you have a subscription. If you want to have early access to Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 and get a whole bunch of this Content Vault and all that kind of stuff, plus discounts and whatnot, what you need to do is you need to be part of the Gold Class subscription service, which is $14.99 a month. That gives you premium download station access, the Content Vault, so which you can, like I said, add to your collection. You get a 25% store discount, you'll get member-only deals, plus you get a copy of Trainz A New Era, the early access of Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, plus the official release of Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. Some of the exclusive new features, you will get that. So every feature you will get exclusive new features, but that's not saying that you're the only person that's going to get it. That means you will get these exclusive new features basically before everyone else, or most of these features before everyone else, and then on top of that get a few updates. So plus you'll get some of these new Trainz updates before everyone else. So that's what the idea is. It's early access, plus you'll get yourself, I think you get a DLC preview pass, which means that you can access all the new DLC 14 days before it's going to be out on the Trainz store, and then after that you can purchase them from the Trainz store or not. So that's basically how it works with that. Or you can have an annual membership, which is $150 a month, or you can just purchase it. Now this is important, you can purchase it the traditional way. So you can just go ahead and press order now, and you can go to, it'll be on the Trainz store, and I'll leave links in the description box to the Trainz store. You can just go there and you can purchase it for $70. That's pretty much it. You can purchase it for $70. However, I'm not sure what the early access or how the early access is going to work on that. I think, and don't quote me on this, I will find out a bit more than this, but the $70 I think does give you the early access. Just be sure to check that out. Do be sure to check that out. But we'll have to find out. So the early access is going to be able to, you'll upgrade free at the end of 2018 to the full version of the simulator. But I do think it is early access, and that's what's available to you. But like I said, right now with the early access, day one, we've only got Kickstarter County 2. So by all means, you can wait. You can wait for this product, or you can buy it now, or you can go through a subscription, or you can do it in the old-fashioned way by just ordering it. And a little bit more information just to end this video about Trainz Railroad Simulator. Just give you some of the frequently asked questions, again still looking back at my comments but also answering this. So the early access is of course a pre-release version. It's got all the features, it doesn't have the final content, as I said. Through the early access period they'll be adding more of those content, sorry, and the Trainz A New Era routes and all of that are being updated. I have it on good authority that some of them are being updated, and they are going to be coming along right now. And yes, just to double check and confirm, gold class members and the people who have purchased it from the Trainz store will get the early access product. So you can either buy it for £70 or sorry, $70 on the early access then, or you can get it on the gold class membership. So there you go. It is the successor to Trainz A New Era. That was a question I had. It is definitely a successor. It's built on the same game engine, but they've improved it further, like I said, what I was talking about before. And someone did make a mention that in the initial video I made it sound like N3V games develop all the routes and all the stock. They don't. It is a very community driven one. There are lots and lots of little people, companies, I'd say little, some of their product is fantastic, or absolutely fantastic their products are, but there are lots and lots of different people, different teams, different groups that come together to build the Trainz franchise in a sense. So what else is there? Let me see. I think that's pretty much it. That gives you all the information about Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 that I know of. If you have any more questions, do leave them in the comment box below. I will go ahead and get in touch with some of the higher ups at N3V Games and ask them the questions if I can't find an answer. But hopefully that did answer most, if not all, of the questions I was getting on the first part of the first impressions video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, and of course still going on maybe for a little while with Trainz A New Era. Leave a comment in the comments box below, as I said, and also don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated, would really help me out. You can also follow me on Twitch if you're not watching this on Twitch. That is at twitch.tv/ecgadget, and you'll find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Instagram and Twitter. That's all from me. Hopefully this explained everything, and I'll see you guys next time in some form of Trainz game.